Buemo
Yeah.
on the right, although Buemo can play up front. Diallo can play at 10, I know that. We'll go through the whole squad in a minute, but left back there, Cunha, Rashford, Dorgu, who did play on the left a bit last season, but he was signed as a left wing back, wasn't he? If they're the wingers, are you happy with that as Michael Carrick?
With Rashford there, yes, because who else is there available to come in and you have to pay that money? If Rashford stays, you can see Dorgu going back to being, he could play either position, can either left wing or left back. They've got loads of games coming on, so you do see the strength in that side. And it's hard to see Marcus Rashford being at Manchester United, but it's also hard to see Marcus Rashford not being at Manchester United, because I just feel like it makes sense for Man United, it really does. And if they don't do it, then obviously it's all done. It's all done.
When we did the Liverpool squad depth, you picked a lot of holes in it. And fair enough. When you look at the Manchester United squad depth, what stands out to you?
Fullback positions.
Players. Fullbacks, okay.
Fullback. Dalot and Mazzari? No, not for me. They need another right back. I think they need someone in there. The strength. There's too many mistakes there. Even on the left back side, Luke Shaw's there. He needs competition, Luke Shaw.
Harry Amas is only 19. Yeah, exactly. But then Dorgu
yeah, but they need competition. But you can't have Dorgu in left wing and then if they're going competition. You need competition for places and strong competitions. You can even argue and say another centre midfielder, because is he really Man United? Kobe Mainoo's top, Tielemans, and you don't know about Santos.
Well, Ugati's got a big injury.
Oh, that's it. But you don't know about Santos. We can talk about how much he cost 50 million. But how is he going to be when he's asked to perform in front of the Old Trafford fans?
Yeah, well, I was going to say to you, do you think the central midfield is now sorted, including number 10s, by the way, Bruno Fernandes and Mount, but you think they need one more? Because that was last summer, that was a lot of the talk, that they were missing one central midfielder.
Could Mount drop back in?
But then Casemiro was suddenly amazing.
Of course, but could Mount drop back in? Because Bruno Fernandes is going to play, and ultimately we can say he plays in the 10, but he ultimately plays wherever he likes.
Oh, he dropped back in under
that's what I'm saying.
didn't
That's
he?
what I'm saying. He's going to play, and would I be surprised if him and Tielemans swapped in certain games?
Right.
When the game's going on? And then arguably you've got to look at the centre-forward situation. You've got to, because you've got Benjamin Sesko there, and Zerski's going to go off to Juventus, I think I've heard, which I can't really believe. However, you do have Brian Mbeumo who can play up front instead of
Rashford and Cunha.
So that's what makes sense to keep Rashford at the football club.
All right, so with Rashford there and that squad, I know that you've said that there are areas that need to be strengthened. Does that squad, how close to the title does that squad get?
Not close enough. And that's not me being, because Arsenal
four again.
It's how Michael Carrick uses his squad with the European games. Now, I know I keep saying that, but that is so important. It can't be forgotten that they was out of the League Cup and the FA Cup so early. They only had the Premier League to concentrate on. Yes, when Michael Carrick came in, there was an uplift and a complete different change in momentum, of course. But it's how he can keep every player happy. He's got plenty of games. He can reshuffle the squad every now and then. But ultimately, he's in to win games of football. And every game for Manchester United is ultimately to win, because they are the biggest club, arguably the biggest club in the world, and the spotlight's always on them.
Well, on Rashford, there's a few mixed opinions on this. John said Rashford's time at United has passed. He simply isn't good enough anymore. Sell him. Now, the selling, when we talk about the financial situation of his wages, etc., I can understand, but isn't good enough anymore. Is that fair?
That's not.
From John?
I think that's emotional, because I think as a Manchester United fan, you'd probably be frustrated how this scenario has worked out. Because where he was at Manchester United to where he is now, with them years moved on, it's like they've come head-to-head with each other, and you can't really see him back in there. But I think that's quite harsh from him. I think the majority of Man United fans would have him back, but then I know a few of them would be like, his time is done.
Well, Barney says Rashford would add more to that Manchester United attack than any of their other players, especially if he was at his best. Is there any reason why he can't be at his best?
No, of course there isn't. But also adding to that, they can. John, who said about it before, is going, hang on a minute. Well, as we all know with football, if he comes back and scores a few goals, everything's forgotten. That's football. That's how it works. That's how it works. The moment he comes on, performs, keeps himself quiet, comes on a pitch, lets all his football do the talking, like he has done for England, everyone will be pleased.
I asked you the minimum requirement for Xabi Alonso at Chelsea this season. I asked you about Andoni Iraola at Liverpool. What about for Michael Carrick in his first full season in charge at Manchester United?
It's definitely getting through the group stages of Champions League. I think that's a bet.
Quite well.
Yeah,
sorry, I was about to say something.
Oh no, exactly.
I'll say it anyway. It's easier than it was. I should say.
So that's a bare minimum to get through there. But also, I think he's got to try and replicate what he did last year and get in the top 4 again. Mm-hmm. And obviously, get through the first rounds of the League Cup and the FA Cup.
Well, yes. It appears to me, just from listening to you for the last hour or so, that talking about Chelsea, Liverpool and Manchester United, you haven't said a title challenge from either of them. Yep. Are you saying Arsenal and Manchester City are the top 2?
Well, yes, I am, because I haven't seen anything that's gone to anybody to contest Man City, but it's how Enzo Maresca can get his style of play across to his players, and if there's a similar coaching styles to Pep Guardiola. But the biggest thing is, I haven't said anybody to contest Arsenal. Mm-hmm. And I don't think anybody can see anybody else contesting against Arsenal. I really don't. I really don't. They've got a manager, they've built it, like I said, step by step over the years. Everybody's gone after them, coming second. I was definitely one of them. They've finally done it, and now you're looking at everybody's now playing catch-up. But this is a time where Arsenal really need to keep their foot on the pedal.
It does actually seem that the next few weeks are going to be very important in the transfer window for a lot of those clubs who would like to at least be challenging for the title. For Manchester United, is this the most settled the club has seen? Maybe the most happy the club has seemed since Sir Jim Ratcliffe took over? I
think it's quieter. I think there's not a lot of noise coming out of Manchester United, which is quite surprising. Normally, we're constantly hearing stuff that's going on at the club. And now, I think for Man United also, they've bought players for a lot of money and spent money, big money on wages. And everybody's laughed and poked fun at Manchester United when they haven't worked out. Now they're probably trying to go into a different direction. It looks like they're settled under Michael Carrick, the coaching staff. I just feel like Steve Holland is one that goes under the radar. The help and support he gives Michael Carrick settles the squad down. And at the moment, I'll be going into the season as a Man United fan positive.
Yeah, it seems like the fans trust the recruitment there as well after last summer. Right, breaking news is an incoming at Chelsea, but it's not a player. It's a set-piece coach. Austin McPhee has joined Chelsea after his departure from Aston Villa. They've confirmed that in the last few minutes, Chelsea. And apologies, that seems to be some sniggering coming from over my left shoulder from our guest, Charlie Austin. What are you laughing at, Charlie, that there's a new set-piece coach at Chelsea?
No, just the way the game's going. It's amazing. Let's announce it. We've just got another staff member in, a set-piece coach. Now, can he make Chelsea score more goals and keep the ball out of their net more from set pieces? Maybe, who knows? Proof being a pudding, but ultimately, clear it out of your box, put a ball in the net in their box. It's as simple as that. Not every set piece is. If someone says, "I'll just whip it under the crossbar," yeah, I'll tell you what, that's a great idea. That. Oh, did you? Where'd you come up with that, mate? Sat there eating your bowl of Frosties this morning? I don't think so. Come on.
Did you ever think there would
be absolutely not.
a time when
there was always
it would get on
coach.
The breaking news?
It was always the goalie coach, to be honest, where I'd been. At Southampton, Dave Watson did the set pieces. Kevin Hitchcock, QPR, did the set pieces. They're the ones defensively and attacking 9 times out of 10 do them. Now we've got their own specific role. Unbelievable. Imagine that, watching 1,000 throw-ins every weekend.
Well,
no, that's it. That is it. You're trying to get that edge. I totally understand it. 1%ers. Imagine how boring that is, sir. You're having to watch 1,000 throw-ins.
So how would they get the best out of you when it comes to... I mean, you were a threat.
Me, put the ball in the middle and I'll head it. That's it. No, I get what you're saying.
There must be more to it than that. There's got to be, otherwise they wouldn't have
There's the timing of your runs. But getting the ball in the box, you've got to want the play. The players have got to want to head it and put themselves in these positions. But it's the specific ones, the technical ones, where it's a pass in a set where everyone's movement and made a certain space for someone to run in and score. But other than that, yeah, I was old school centre forward throwback. Listen, it was me v you in the box, and I want to head it more than you.
If we could organise a Sky Sports FC special where we find a football club that will allow you to be set-piece coach for a few days, would you be interested?
Oh, sign me up. Set-piece coach. See that? You whip the ball in between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box, and 4 of you run in the zones. Head it.
Right. Football clubs, get in touch if you want Charlie's expert advice.
Saved him a few quid there, didn't we?
Or just clip that up and show it to your players in the dressing room.